Hey everyone, welcome back to Realpolitik. Today is May the 9th, 2023. We're going to be talking about the latest developments in Ukraine. So let's get right into it. This is going to be a quick update, hopefully. So today was Victory Day, the commemoration of the Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany in World War II. So we're just going to watch a few clips just to show you what it was like in Moscow. All right. And then let's take a look at this clip right here. All right, there's that, and then there's this one as well. Anyways, yeah, that'll give you an idea of what it was like. And the security was really, there was a lot of security there. This guy has an anti-drone gun to shoot down drones potentially. There were also snipers that were all over the place, posted. And what's interesting is that the Russians, they only had one tank on display. It was a T-34 tank. And by the way, this is all on my Twitter. If you guys want, I'll put the link below. But yeah, the Russians, they only had a T-34 tank on display, and there's a lot of pro-Ukrainian, the pro-Ukrainian crowd are basically saying that, yeah, that they're implying that Russia had to send their T-34s to Ukraine, or that they're out of tanks. I don't know. There was a clip from a few days ago where Shoigu visited the front, one of the heads of the Russian military, and there was tons of tanks on display. So new T-90. So I don't think they're out of tanks. But yeah, actually, you know what's interesting? Usually there's airplanes and jets that fly over the Kremlin for Victory Day, but not this time around because of security issues. Anyways, so there's that. And then in Ukraine, last night there was a lot of missile strikes. Russia launched dozens of missiles and drones at Ukraine. Some say it was the largest barrage of missiles that Russia has launched since the start of the war. Now in Kiev, the Ukrainians claim that they shot down 35 Shahed 136 or Garan 2 drones. And what else? There's this one. They say they shot down 23 out of 25 cruise missiles. But then some of the pro-Russian crowd, they respond by saying something like this. This was in Odessa last night, so I'll read it for you. Last night, Ukrainian air defense successfully intercepted a Russian Kh-22 missile by using a warehouse in Odessa. Yeah, war isn't funny, but that's interesting. So the Ukrainians are saying it was a food storage site, but I don't know, it all went up in flames, whatever it was. And the Russians are claiming that it was a kind of an army training center. So the Russians, they're contradicting what the Ukrainians are saying, and what they're saying is that all of their designated targets were struck. Um, of course, on the border, the Ukrainians are constantly bombing, the Belgorod region and the areas on the border. That's just happening on a regular basis now. A lot of the drones and whatnot are shot down, but like this is debris of a missile. But some of them make it through, right? Like I said before, no system is foolproof, so that's just it, right? So there were missile strikes, drone strikes in Dnipro, Zaporizhia, um, Kiev, Odessa, basically all over the place. The Russians struck several ammo depots. They struck concentrations of Ukrainian troops. And of course, as I mentioned previously, the Ukrainians are moving troops and reinforcements and supplies to the front lines. They're about to launch their counteroffensive. Now, something else I want to talk about. So the Ukrainians claim that they claimed that they shot down a Kinzhal hypersonic ballistic missile, right? And then this came out, and this is a pro-Ukrainian media outlet. So Ukrainian Air Force denies reports Kinzhal hypersonic ballistic missile downed over Kiev. But some of the hardcore NATO fanboys, they're not willing to change their mind, and some are saying that yeah, so Ukraine acknowledged it, then denied it, then acknowledged it, which is pretty suspect by itself. But anyways, this is a picture of it, of what was shot down. And there's a few things suspect about this. First of all, this picture to me doesn't look like the Kinzhal missile here. It just doesn't, the shape doesn't really correspond with it, right? This is kind of, it's wider, it's thicker. This is kind of like long and kind of like a tube shape. I don't know. And then there's this. And the thing is, the Ukrainians only have the Pack 1 and 2 variants, right? They don't have the Pack 3 variant. The Pack 1 and 2, I believe it uses a proximity fuse and it explodes near, it detonates near the target. It doesn't strike into the target. So this looks like something struck it. So I'm not sure if, I don't know. I don't know. And this one doesn't look like this one here. The second one doesn't look like the first one to me. And the first one doesn't look like the third one. And the second one and third one, I don't know, the colors don't really match. I don't know if that means anything, but um if they actually shot down a Kinzhal missile, why don't they actually just like show us proper pictures? What is this nonsense? And why are they going back and forth denying it and not denying it? And anyways, in Ukraine, by the way, Zelensky, whose grandfather fought in World War II, he actually he changed it from Victory Day to Europe Day. So there's that. And then in Bakhmut, the fighting continues. The fighting is so the Ukrainians gained somewhat of a minor victory. They or a major one, depends how you look at it. The Russians were not able to take all of Bakhmut before Victory Day, which was allegedly one of their goals. But yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, the Russians control most of the gray zone as well. So the Ukrainians only control like at the most 1 or 2 square blocks now. It's less than 5%. And as you can see, you can see it better with this map. So the Ukrainians basically, um, there's this road right here on the top. You can't really see it that well, but just kind of trace it. This road, and then there's this road at the bottom. You can see it. It's kind of a yellowish color. These are the main roads in and out of Bakhmut. I believe there's this dirt road. But yeah, these roads, I've said it before, they're under fire control. This is not a favorable situation for the Ukrainians at all. Um, Even this road can be targeted with artillery. Actually, this road in the north and south, they're actually under physical control, right? The Russians control more than what you're seeing here, right? So um, these roads are under physical control, right? So essentially, it's not a favorable situation for the Ukrainians, right? Anything that goes in and out of Bakhmut is likely to be targeted. We've seen footage of the road and this northern road. They call it the road of death now. There's like tanks and armored vehicles littered all over the place. So, I mean, they're basically, anything that goes in or out of in and out of Bakhmut, I would say at least 10% of it's being destroyed. That's before anything even gets there, right? So any reinforcement supplies. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the point is of Ukraine holding on to this. I've said it before. The State Department, the U.S. wanted Ukraine to pull out months ago, and Zelensky, the top general in Ukraine, wanted to pull out, but Zelensky, I don't know if he's emotionally attached to this city. Um, I don't know what it is. He doesn't want to pull out, so they keep sending in troops. And I've shown you guys the footage that, I mean, the Russians are basically annihilating, bombing anything that moves, right? Like they're just firebombing the place. So I don't understand the point of doing this for Ukraine. But hey, what do I know, right? Zelensky used to be a stripper, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Anyways, I'll show you guys some footage and call it a day. This is from today. You can see how Bakhmut's been reduced to ruins, right? This is drone footage from today, I believe. But like I said, the thing is, by doing this, the Ukrainians, by doing this, they're actually discouraging the Russians from wanting to take Ukrainian territory, because you have to fight house to house, right? And then in the end, what do you get, right? In the end, you get a bunch of rubble and you have to like rebuild everything. You have to cover humanitarian costs. I mean, is it even worth it in the end, right? If you think about it. Um, this picture, I thought it was a nice picture from it's an Iskander missile being launched from Belgorod region towards Ukraine. Uh, it's a very recent photo. Let's look at some more Lancet footage. Lancet drones. This one, I believe it's a M109 being destroyed. And now it's really common for the Ukrainians to make these, what should I call them, like cope cages or cope huts, these cope structures. They put chicken wire on it sometimes. They build out of 2x4s, it looks like, and or whatever they can get their hands on. They put chicken wire around it to stop the Lancet. But I mean, the Lancet drones, um, their trajectory can be adjusted in mid-flight, and they can travel. I believe 300 kilometers an hour. I don't think these things are very good at stopping them, but I mean, I thought something like that might be able to stop, munitions that are dropped from like a quadcopter drone. But yeah, and this one was a direct hit. I mean, sometimes you'll see like a cook off, sometimes you won't, but like I said, there's a lot of variables that come into play, right? There's a trajectory, there's the angle that the drone hits the target, there's where it hits the target, how much ammunition is in there, this, that. So, anyways, yeah, this was completely annihilated.
Пошли, пошли. Заходим, заходим, заходим. У нас, походу, гости.
Да? Угу.